Tonight on News 5 Live, the remainder of the hurricane-damaged roof of the Supreme Court building collapses, bringing all legal matters before the Magistrate Court to a screeching halt. Samuel August Sr., 4 years after killing his son and grandmother with a backhoe, pleaded guilty to murder. And the future of former Belmopan area representative John Saldivar will be decided by a special committee of the United Democratic Party. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Great Belize Productions Channel 5, proud winner of 9 Caribbean Media Awards for 2021. Best Investigative Report, Best News Item, Best Coverage of People with Disabilities, Best Financial Literacy Journalism, Best Videographer, Best Television Commercial Spot, and the People's Choice Award, with 2 special mentions for financial literacy journalism.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
It's an massive season with massive deals and rewards at Penny's. From now through December 31st, earn double B-Bucks on store-wide purchasing every Friday and Saturday. That's right, 2 times the B-Bucks, which means 2 times the cash back when shopping at Penny's. Plus, get even more rewards with B-Bucks Builders on home goods, tiles, appliances, paints, and lights. And don't forget, there's also massive deals and discounts on tiles and the best brands in paints like Benjamin Moore and BH. Rewards, deals, B-Bucks. You can get it all this massive season only at Penny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings.
Samsung's Black Friday weekend deals are almost here. Grab the real deal at the best prices of the year when you get your Galaxy devices at Cellular World stores on November 25th and 26th. Whether you're on a tight budget or looking to replace your phones or tablets that were damaged during the storm, Samsung cares in times like these. So we're slashing our prices on the full lineup of Galaxy phones. Get ready for the best deals of the year from Samsung. Budget phones start at a crazy low price of just $59. Mid-range phones for an unbeatable $325. And get the Samsung Tab A7 Lite for only $369. Mark your calendars to shop, save, and secure your purchase with Samsung's 1-year local warranty during Samsung's Black Friday weekend deals on November 25th and 26th at all Cellular World stores countrywide. Don't miss out!
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, November 22nd. I am Sabrina Daly. Today, normal court proceedings at the public building that houses all the magistrates' courts, the cell block, some of the Supreme Court chambers and offices had to be put on halt following the continuous collapse of portions of the ceiling. The building had lost a significant portion of its roof on November 2nd when Hurricane Lisa passed through Belize City. Now, with the structure uninhabitable, there is going to be a mad rush in the next few days to find another building large enough to house the courtrooms, as well as a cell block, so as to not severely hinder the operations of the Magistrates Court. Marian Ali filed this report today.
The verdict is still out on when and where temporary court hearings can be held for the Belize City Magistrates Court after more breakage of the ceiling at the public building rendered the building unsafe to occupy. The roof was damaged during the passage of the recent hurricane, and heavy rains over the weekend exacerbated the already compromised structure. Chief of Security at the Magistrates Court, Earl Parks, was on duty this morning when the ceiling caved in.
Say 7:10, the whole roof come down. Right after when I come back and finish check the rest and post them, I hear the cement them, the piece of cement there from upstairs started drop on the stairs right over your head right there. And from there, the whole thing just decided to tumble down on the left hand side of the building, well, the right hand side of the building, I say. You know, when I turn this way, it tumbled down and it just collapsed, the whole place collapsed. You know, the whole roof decided to come down.
Chief Magistrate Sharon Fraser said the incident has forced the closure of the Magistrates Courts indefinitely.
We came here Monday. I met a courtroom where the entire ceiling, all the light fixtures, electrical stuff, everything was down. The place full with water, and the mold, the smell of the mold was just unbearable.
Okay.
So a decision was taken that I would close down that side of the building, which is the left side of this building.
Which houses how many courtrooms?
It houses
And the cell block.
4 active courtroom. There is a 5th room, but 4 active courts and the cell block area.
Freelance court reporter Anita Nemhard has been working from the court building for the past 20 years. She told us that she has seen the degradation of the building without adequate restorative work placed on the historical structure.
I've seen where the building needed more work, and you know, I've given my comments about it, and I guess suggestion that, you know, better need to be done because it's a historic building. I mean, I've been telling my kids about this building and, you know, the work that I've been doing out here, and, you know, it's just looking at the building itself. People just pass us to take a picture. So I've seen the years of deterioration with the building, and what happened yesterday and again today, in my view, that something was bound to happen.
While the damages are still being assessed, Fraser said there is going to have to be a difference in the way court proceedings are held for the time being.
We had indicated we would have started to do virtual hearings for those persons in the prison who matters are not set.
Yeah.
And then for new matters, do physical arraignment or do virtual arraignment. So it would mean that persons would stay at Queen Street Police Station, they'll set up a laptop, we'll set up our computer system here and arraign them, and then they will just come to do the paperwork here. But at least we wouldn't have to worry about housing prisoners or anything like that. So when they bring them over, it would simply have been just to sign, and then they get their bail for those who are getting bail.
While this will be the interim operation, Fraser says the search will begin on Wednesday for somewhere suitable to house the Magistrates Court.
I will start tomorrow to see if we can start to look for somewhere, at very least, where we can house the 4 affected courts. And maybe thereafter look for somewhere where maybe all of us, because once they start the repair on this building, we can't stay here.
The collapsed ceiling has caused another setback for the court, which already has a backlog of cases to deal with.
We were quite on our way in addressing those cases, those old cases. So now this has really caused a real setback for me. Another setback in trying to address dealing with these outstanding cases.
The compromised roof and ceiling also brings into focus another issue. The building is where the Chief Justice's speech and other speeches are presented at the ceremonial opening of the Supreme Court calendar in January. That event will have to take place elsewhere. But the Chief Magistrate was hopeful that with this incident, a promised court building will be built on Chetomal Street.
Maybe Lisa is a blessing, because this might very well be where consideration is given to putting that building at the Chetomal Street. We had already been promised a location. I know that the second building to have been considered being built would have been that of the Magistrate Court.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
The collapsed ceiling of the Magistrates Court building put a damper on the progress of the court's operations with current cases, but it did not result in any losses of manual records that are still being used. But going forward, Chief Magistrate Sharon Fraser said that there was already a plan in place to go with virtual and digital altogether. In addition, today representatives of the European Union conducted an assessment of the damages at the court, and Fraser says this is a sign that there are steps being taken behind the scenes to get the building repaired.
If it is that I'm saying to you that the EU is scheduled to come and the assessment, it definitely means somebody is reaching out. The last thing I would have wanted is for something else to have happened to this building. This building is long-standing, it has historical value, it has persons can talk about history as far as this building is concerned. But I think that no, and especially the fact that the Chief Justice came, she walked in and she was like, I can't have anybody in this building. So they know the urgency of addressing the issue facing us at this time. So I don't feel at any point that we're being ignored, that we're not being looked at, and nobody is not understanding the seriousness of this matter. Thankfully, our records room have not suffered any water damage. But the situation is that even before Hurricane Lisa, we were looking at a way of how to go virtual in terms of even for filing digital. Supreme Court have in fact was forced with COVID. Yeah. We were forced a little, but not pushed all the way in terms of virtual hearings and virtual filings and all of that. We're not there yet. Okay. We are hoping that in fact with a new case management system that we have, we can in fact go into digital receipting countrywide. It's just putting the technology in terms of the equipment in place, and then we can very well do that. So we're step by step, and then we could go into e-filing, we could go into all the other things, people being able to pay their fines virtually, that kind of thing. So we're hopeful.
A little over 4 years ago, a Belize City family was beset by tragedy when a distraught former-in-law rammed a piece of heavy equipment into a home, killing a 5-year-old boy, his 53-year-old grandmother, and a teenage minor. The frightening ordeal made headlines as the single flat residence occupied by Louise Young and her grandchildren was torn apart when they were sleeping inside one of the bedrooms facing Faubers Road. In the wake of the incident, Samuel August was arraigned on a number of charges, including the murder. Today, notwithstanding the collapsing of the ceiling in the adjacent court building, August pleaded guilty to killing his infant son, the child's grandmother, and badly injuring her 13-year-old granddaughter. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
On the morning of October 31st, 2018, Samuel August Sr. did the unthinkable. While his children and their grandmother slept inside this concrete bungalow on Faubers Road, the former Belize City Council employee plowed through the residence with a backhoe, killing 5-year-old Samuel August, Louise Young, and injuring a 13-year-old girl. In a fit of blind rage, the father of 3 ran the excavator into the bedroom repeatedly.
When I got over here, it was in a horrible mess. So upon questioning my little cousin who had called me, she said that the boy's father, Sam August, was the one who was responsible for what happened. She said he was in a backhoe And he drove the backhoe from the lane in front there and came and rammed it straight into the house. So then when she heard the ram the first time and she ran out, she realized it's my mother's house that was hit. She came over to see what was happening, and she said he was ramming it again and shoveling up my sister off the bed and throwing her. By this time, the baby had already covered under rubbles and things like that.
It has been a little over 4 years since that deadly Halloween morning, and since then, the 39-year-old has faced a slew of charges in connection with the incident. Earlier today, he appeared in court, along with attorney Erson Ellerington, before Justice Susan Lamb. During the proceeding, the suspect chose to enter a guilty plea.
For some weeks, we have been in discussions with the Crown, and we previously had a sentence indication hearing, which is the opportunity for the court to indicate what the sentence would be for Mr. August if it is that he were to enter a plea of guilty. Mr. August, after having considered all the circumstances, all of the facts, all of the evidence, determined that it would be in his best interest to have an early guilty plea. And so today he entered such a guilty plea before the court.
The guilty plea was accepted after acknowledging the facts of the case. Sentencing for August Sr. has been reserved for a later date. He will, however, return to court on December 14th for a mitigation plea where his attorney, as well as other witnesses, will testify to his good character.
That will be the opportunity for the Crown to say what are the aggravating circumstances, and for the defense to offer what should be some of the mitigating circumstances to allow for him to get the least possible, and the Crown would offer their aggravating circumstances why they should get the highest possible sentence at that point in time. And then thereafter, in January, the judge will deliver her decision as to his actual sentence in January of 2023.
Of note is that a psychiatric evaluation will also be conducted to determine August's mental soundness. August is presently serving a 7-year sentence for the theft of a motor vehicle following an incident on November 2nd, 2018, when he stole an SUV from the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital's parking lot. He had been admitted to ward when he escaped from the facility and took off in a Chevy Equinox, which he later rammed into the rear of a backhoe. Reporting for News 5, I am Isana Cayetano.
Coming up, former PM Dean Barrow files application for judicial review in $3.1 million CIBL case.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word.
The Bible says, when Jesus therefore saw his mother and the disciple standing by whom he loved, he saith unto his mother, Woman, behold thy son. Then he saith to the disciple, Behold thy mother. And from that hour that disciple took her unto his own home. William Goldsmith Brown once said, the sweetest sounds to mortals given are heard in mother, home, and heaven. Abraham Lincoln said, no man is poor who has a godly mother. No one knew the love and compassion of a mother like Jesus. She was the first to greet him from the womb and the first to greet him from the tomb. She was first to the cross and first to the tomb. Jesus' love for her is best illustrated by the fact that one of his last thoughts was on his mother. From the cross he looked down and saw her and said to John, Behold thy mother. That is, take care of Mother John. No one can comfort and console like a mother. That is why someone said the best place to cry is in a mother's arms. She is there when we cry and often when we die. On September the 24th, 2010, in a New York apartment, the lifeless body of Cesar Mercado, senior consular official, was discovered by his driver, Amparo Amador, who had come to drive him to attend the UN General Assembly's annual meeting. The driver related, beginning 6 months ago, he told me, don't let them have a funeral for me here if I die. I want a closed casket. Just send me to my mother.
Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
It's that time of the year when all that stands between you and all of this is...
Give me 5, give me 5, give me 5!
That's all it takes. Get your coupons at Channel 5 and Coney Drive and Channel 5's website. Then, starting Monday, December 5th, keep those phones close and tune in to Channel 5 at 8 p.m. as we start our nightly giveaways until Friday, December 9th. Remember, when the phone rings, don't say
hello.
Say, give me 5.
Hola. Disculpa por no llegar anoche. Lo siento. He estado hace tiempo con ganas de decirte algo. Últimamente estoy lidiando con mis problemas de salud mental.
I think if there was no stigma around mental health, I'd be more open about what I'm going through on the inside. And I don't know, maybe I'd find that other people in my life are actually going through the same thing.
Há alguns anos, comecei a contar para outras pessoas sobre minha ansiedade. Isso me ajudou a descobrir ótimas formas de como lidar com ela.
Soy muy sociable. Creo que si hablara sobre mis problemas de la salud mental, simplemente no lo creerían. Por eso no hablo de ello.
Me preocupa que si la gente se enterara de mi salud mental, pensarán que soy débil. Por eso me aislé. Pero creo que voy a cambiar esto.
Welcome to Builders Hardware, end of the year mega sale where you can certainly get what you are looking for.
That's right, we're cutting costs and slashing prices across the store.
This sale starts from October 15 until the end of the year.
Enough time for you to plan, shop safely, and save some money.
We're having a huge discount, 20% on paint and 30% and more on selected items, just for you.
Come and visit us in Belmopan. We have quality, variety, quantity, and service with a smile.
Builders Hardware, end of the year mega sale from October 15th to the end of December. We think our customers are awesome.
Builders who build with a passion and skill. Go to Builders Hardware.
IBL committee will be bringing out the rings and trophies this Saturday, November 26th at the Belize Civic Center. Will this be the end of the tournament? And will 15 kings be crowned? Or will there be a decisive and third game 3? This Saturday, the Belize Civic Center will not be the same. A king not named Charles will possibly be crowned, or a superstar will force a game 3. Will there be a champion?
They all walk like a champion, talk like a champion. What a piece of money.
7:30 p.m. will be the battle for 3rd and 4th place between the Belize Coast Guard and the Belize Water Service. And then,
let's get ready to rumble. If you are are what you say you are.
In the grand finale of the night, the superstars will be out in Game 2 of the Best of 3 series. Rico Black and the Toughing of Tours, led by Francis Naitiarana, Ian Renee and Jamal Kelly drew first blood and are now ready to close off the Central Health Customs Squad, led by the #1 point guard in the land, Glency Cooper Lopez, alongside Akeem Evans and Stephen Wade, seeking to force it all the way to Game 3. Breaking news caught up to a tough enough player after their big W. What message you have for the Central Health Customs guys?
Tell them that the series over and we're about to.
The half tank will feature the young and dynamic Belize superstar Yastalia performing her hit song Tropic.
In the tropics, I'm the hot topic. I built the tribe, I'm living
just another level. Bring out the entire family this Saturday, November 26th to the Belize Civic Center. Sponsors: Racina's Imports, J&W Supermarket, Mahib's Wholesale, Barefoot Hotel, Cabana Used Clothing, Midway Wholesale, Mirage Belize, Carve Guys, Harris Import, Prestige Auto Sales, Cellular World, Posh and Store, VIP Wireless, Nando's Wholesale, Benny's Home Center, Crystal Water, Sprite, Powerade, Travelers, Channel 5 and Channel 7, Creme, Wave, Love FM and More FM. Let's get it on!
Former Prime Minister Dean Barrow has launched an application for judicial review before the Supreme Court on behalf of his clients at the Caribbean International Brewery Limited in Orange Walk District. As we have reported, authorities seized over $3 million in cash from the brewery's compound near Carmelita Village during an operation on October 7th. Since then, the producers of Mine Bear have been locked in a legal battle before Magistrate Deborah Rogers in the Orange Walk Magistrate Court because the Financial Intelligence Unit, FIU, has requested to hold on the seized funds for an additional 3 months. On October 26, Barrow made an application for a case stated before Magistrate Rogers, which is basically a request to have the Supreme Court's opinion on certain aspects of the hearing. He submitted the application with a view to challenge decisions made by Magistrate Rogers in relation to his clients. Well, last week, Barrow took it a step further and filed an application for permission to bring a judicial review against Magistrate Rogers and the Attorney General's office. Barrow is asking the Supreme Court to determine that the magistrate has erred in her rulings and that his client's constitutional rights have been violated in the process. We spoke with Barrow via Zoom this evening.
We've launched a challenge by way of an application for judicial review. Now, judicial review is in 2 stages. We've got to first get permission to bring judicial review. So yesterday, the application for permission for judicial review came on for hearing. At the time when you apply for leave to bring judicial review, you also ask for a stay or an injunction. You say to the court, if you give me leave to bring judicial review, I want you to, in the meantime, stay the proceedings in front of the magistrate. Godfrey Smith appeared for the government and the magistrate and said, of course, he wasn't prepared to argue the question yesterday because we had just filed it last week and they just retained him over the weekend. So the magistrate said, indeed, we will then have to adjourn the hearing of the application for permission. I asked whether in the meantime she would grant a temporary stay because the magistrate is to continue tomorrow. But of course, as was pointed out, and as we knew, if she granted that stay, it would mean the magistrate could not continue tomorrow. And the detention order, the last detention order that she made, which is only to last until tomorrow, would expire and the money would have to be given back, even before we, in fact, got the permission to go for judicial review, and even before we would have won the judicial review challenge when that does get heard. She refused to give me that stay because it would have resulted in the cash having to be returned. Her position was that, listen, if you are right in all you're alleging, when we do judicial review and you win, if you are right, the harm that's being done to your clients by way of their money having been seized will be compensated for in damages. And if you're right in saying that the magistrate has gone terribly wrong, the court can make an appropriate statement, because I am contending that the magistrate has absolutely broken down, trampled upon all the guardrails that the law sets up to ensure that when you take a man's money, there is some level of protection.
In the meantime, Magistrate Rogers will continue to hear the matter in Orange Walk on Wednesday. Barrow says he does not expect a judicial review decision before Magistrate Rogers makes her final decision. Former Belmopan Area Representative John Saldivar was designated by the United States government as an individual who has been significantly corrupt in public life during his tenure as a minister in the Barrow administration. The designation has resulted in Saldivar and his entire family, including his wife and children, being unable to travel to the United States. The allegations brought against the erstwhile Minister of National Security are quite serious and casts an equally dark shadow over the United Democratic Party. In the wake of the action taken against him by the U.S. State Department, the UDP has convened a special committee to look into the claims made against Saldivar, who remains in the race for standard bearer of his constituency. This afternoon, party leader Shine Barrow spoke at length with the media, outlining the course of action that will be taken to afford Saldivar due process.
In keeping with the opposition's anti-corruption policy, we have convened a special committee to examine and consider the U.S. State Department's designation of former Minister John Saldivar, a designation which has cited significant corruption. We have to accept that the Americans have a very rigorous judicial system and system of governance, whether investigating former presidents and the like, and certainly this coming from the Secretary of State is serious, and we can't get around that. That does not preclude Mr. Saldivar from having some type of due process. It is important. This is a part of all robust democracies that people will be accused, in this instance designated, but still have an opportunity to present their side. And that is what we are doing with the special committee. This is a process that must be undertaken, and it began last week. As soon as I got the information, we began to contemplate the best way forward, and we will have a conclusion of this matter no later than December 9th. Mr. Saldivar will have the opportunity to appear before the special committee December 2nd, and thereafter the special committee will make a determination in this matter no later than December 9th, so no later than 7 days. They may conclude that day what their decision is. They may conclude a few days later.
It is no secret that Saldivar remains the subject of intense public scrutiny ever since grave allegations were made against him several years ago. While he has never been tried in a court of law and has steadfastly maintained his innocence throughout various ordeals in which he was accused of impropriety, the United Democratic Party is yet to reach a tipping point. This afternoon, we asked opposition leader Shine Barrow where he stands on the matter.
For the past several years, his political life has been mired in controversy. At what point does the party say, you know what, enough is enough, whether or not the man is guilty or innocent, the attention that is unnecessarily drawn towards the party is too much to bear. At what point do you meet that conclusion to say, you know what, thanks for everything, but we need to reshape the image of the party?
That is very true. But unlike my opponents and my detractors report to the public, I am not a dictator. So I cannot make that decision unilaterally. It is not for Shine Barrow, the party leader, to say enough is enough.
Is that the decision you believe would be in your party's best interest?
What decision?
Is that a decision to purge John Saldivar from the UDP? Would that be in the party's best interest?
That is something that we most certainly have to consider.
Do you, based on what you just said, do you see John Saldivar as a candidate for your party in the 2025 elections, assuming you are still leader? And the second question is, what do you make of the fact that Steve Pereira, literally by 7:30 a.m., had informed me that though he's legal advisor to the party, he will not sit on any such committee, that he was resigning as of 7:30 a.m. I think you sent out the party notice at 7:35 a.m.
Well, he's no longer the legal advisor.
Steve Pereira is no longer the legal advisor.
He's no longer the legal advisor because you don't have an option in a matter like this. This is not about Steve Pereira. This is about the institution of the UDP. And when you take on the responsibility of being a legal advisor, that's a hefty burden to carry. So when the burden becomes overwhelming, you don't say, oh, I had to take this off, why on a depend on own. No, it doesn't work like that.
Amid the weighty allegations that continue to loom over John Saldivar's candidacy, his party leader was asked if he believes that Saldivar acted immorally or dishonestly during the 3 years that he served under the Barrow administration. Here's how he responded.
Do you believe that John Saldivar is a significantly corrupt individual, or that he was while he was in government?
I have to accept that the allegations of Mr. Saldivar being involved in corruption has haunted him since he was a minister, and with this latest development continue to haunt him.
But only ghost haunts, sir. Or is this a real specter of criminal corruption? Of corruption. Let's just leave out the criminality. You said haunted, but the specter of corruption only comes from actual corruption. You believe he was actually, in the conduct of his public affairs, corrupt?
I believe those allegations are serious, they've been persistent, and we have to address the matter with a regard for the history of the persistent allegations.
Is he fit to be on a UDP slate, a reformed UDP, quote-unquote, UDP slate going into the 2025 election?
It is much to blind the public in what we are trying to offer as the government in waiting. I do believe these allegations are a distraction. I do believe the history of the allegations could serve as a distraction, and I'm certainly not happy about having a candidate, a potential candidate, that has been dogged by allegations of corruption.
After the break, President of the APSSM says discussions to resume with government on increment freeze.
¿Calificas para la amnistía 2022? Esta es tu oportunidad de averiguarlo. Usted califica si es registrado como solicitante de asilo en el Departamento de Refugiados antes del 31 de marzo de 2020. residiendo en Belice antes del 31 de diciembre de 2016. ¿Tienes hijos nacidos en Belice el o antes del 31 de diciembre 2021? Completó su educación en Belice. Casado con un ciudadano de Belice por 1 año o más. Viviendo en unión libre con un ciudadano de Belice por 5 años o más. Referido por el Departamento de Servicios Humanos. Empleado remunerado en Belice durante 5 años. Para obtener más información y cómo presentar una solicitud, visita el sitio web www.immigration.gov.bz. Prepárate, el plazo de inscripción será del 2 de agosto al 30 de noviembre de 2022. Amnistía de Belice 2022. Continuemos construyendo Belice juntos.
Who offers the best home internet experience? The truth is, Digi, of course. Diginet has the largest fiber network and the fastest speeds with the most reliable service. That's more learning, more earning, more gaming, more bonding, more sharing, getting more things done. And now, Diginet is even more affordable with the new entry plan, a 20 megabits per second fiber connection for just $49 monthly, and increased speeds in all plans. The truth is, only Digi has the ultimate home internet experience, with savings up to $270 when you bundle. Wireless and cable can't give you that. So what are you waiting for? Sign up or make the switch to DigiNet today to enjoy more speeds to get more done. Digi, our national telecom.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you. Did you know that gender discrimination affects men and boys too? In the workplace, social attitudes prevent men from pursuing lucrative careers in social services and health services, among others. In the Caribbean, boys are less likely to finish secondary and tertiary education. In the family, gender stereotypes inhibit men from being affectionate with their families and place great pressure on them to confront critical life challenges alone. Gender discrimination hurts everyone. Let's join forces where all Belizeans have the opportunity to develop their full potential as human beings.
We encourage you to celebrate International Men's Day on November 19 under the theme Recognizing Belizean Men and Boys. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Families and Children in collaboration with UNICEF.
The IBL committee will be bringing out the rings and trophies this Saturday, November 26th at the Belize Civic Center. Will this be the end of the tournament? And will 15 kings be crowned? Or will there be a decisive and third game 3? This Saturday, the Belize Civic Center will not be the same. A king not named Charles will possibly be crowned, or a superstar will force a game 3. Will there be a champion?
They all walk like a champion, talk like a champion. What a piece of money.
7:30 p.m. will be the battle for 3rd and 4th place between the Belize Coast Guard and the Belize Water Service. And then,
let's get ready to rumble. If you are what you say you are.
In the grand finale of the night, the superstars will be out in Game 2 of the Best of 3 series. Rico Black and the Toughing of Tours, led by Francis Naitiarana, Ian Renee and Jamal Kelly drew first blood and are now ready to close off the Central Health Customs Squad, led by the #1 point guard in the land, Glency Cooper Lopez, alongside Akeem Evans and Stephen Wade, seeking to force it all the way to Game 3. Breaking news caught up to a tough enough player after their big W. What message you have for the Central Health Customs guys?
Tell them that the series over and we're about to.
The half tank will feature the young and dynamic Belize superstar Yastalia performing her hit song Tropic.
In the tropics, I'm the hot topic. I built the tribe, I'm living
just another level.
Bring out the entire family this Saturday, November 26th to the Belize Civic Center. Sponsors: Racina's Imports, J&W Supermarket, Mahib's Wholesale, Barefoot Hotel, Cabana Used Clothing, Midway Wholesale, Mirage Belize, Carve Guys, Harris Import, Prestige Auto Sales, Cellular World, Posh and Store, VIP Wireless, Nando's Wholesale, Benny's Home Center, Crystal Water, Sprite, Powerade, Travelers, Channel 5 and Channel 7, Creme, Wave, Love FM and More FM. Let's get it on!
Earlier in our newscast, you heard from Chief Magistrate Sharon Fraser on the predicament she and her fellow lower court judges are faced with after the ceiling over courtrooms 3, 4, 5, and 6 caved in following heavy rains over the weekend. She also wears the hat of President of the Association of Public Service Senior Managers, APSSM, which comprises, as the name suggests, senior managers within the government system. They were part of the collective group of public employees who endured a 10% salary cut and increment freeze as a part of the Briceño administration's economic recovery plan. But now that the 10% has been reinstated, the current discussion between government and the unions is over the increment freeze. Fraser said those discussions are to resume, but unlike the reinstatement of the 10%, increments are not automatically given.
HODs also get increments, so it affected them. And I can tell you, I can honestly say that yesterday, as early as late as yesterday, we had a meeting, that is the president of the PSU and myself, on another matter with the Minister of the Public Service, and the question was raised informally, and in fact he's saying they're ready, but there are just other things that have come into place, and the Deputy Prime Minister should at some point be able to call a meeting. Right? So that is where we are. I can tell you that we had raised the issue of our long-standing CBA that still has not been signed off yet, and the fact that we need to address it. So it doesn't seem to me that there is any reluctance on the part, at least as far as the Minister of the Public Service is concerned, to meet with us. It is simply a matter of timing, and now Lisa has come along. So, everybody will say no, they'll blame Lisa, but the unfortunate thing, Lisa came. So it's an issue now of finding the right time to get all the parties together. I know that there are some members who are antsy about the delay, but as I said, I can only speak from my interaction that I had yesterday with the Minister of the Public Service, and there doesn't seem to be any reluctance on his part for us to have a meeting. He's saying he's ready. I don't want the public to get the impression that they're saying anything wrong in saying that increments are not automatic, because they're not automatic. It is based on performance and assessment.
Last Thursday, Senator Janelle Chanona, in her capacity as the Vice President of Oceana in Belize, launched a petition drive to trigger a referendum on offshore oil drilling. On that same day, the Office of the Prime Minister issued a statement clarifying that no such activity is being contemplated by the government of Belize. Notwithstanding the differing positions taken by the environmental NGO and the Bersenu administration, Opposition leader Shine Barrow has weighed in on the matter following a press release that was issued earlier today in which the United Democratic Party has indicated that it supports a referendum on offshore oil.
I spoke to Senator Chanona and we discussed the matter, and I made it clear that, as with my historic position on these matters, marijuana, I support a referendum. Pact of Bogota, I support a referendum. There is no greater voice than the voice of the people. They say the voice of the people is the voice of God. So, whereas the UDP administration enacted a moratorium on offshore drilling after a robust campaign by Oceana and over 30,000 people signing a mock referendum, I believe that any reversal of that moratorium, especially given our conservation treaty legislation that we recently enacted that wiped away $500 million of our debt, I believe any reversal, any alteration of that position needs to be taken to the people. That is my position. But I will say on record, I don't usually agree with the Prime Minister, but I can understand where he's coming from as far as seismic testing. I believe, again, it depends on the credibility that you give him and if he's being truthful, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt because the idea that he presents is reasonable, and it is one that I, Shine Barrow, am inclined to support.
The 11th Commonwealth Youth Parliament is underway in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. As we reported on Monday night, Belize has representation at the event. Young Leaders Alliance of Belize, YLAB members Kaylin Middleton and Daryl Avila today made their contributions to the debate on a Remote Work Bill 2022. It is a fictional piece of legislation being proposed for a fictional country, but the issues arising from the debate are common among the participating countries. Here's a brief look at the remarks made by Middleton and Avila earlier today.
According to the International Energy Agency, the annual worldwide CO2 emission statistics for 2019 reached a record high of 36.7 billion metric tons. I did my little fact finding and found out that mature elephants can weigh up to a ton according to National Geographic. So basically, we have 36.7 billion metric tons of mature elephants hovering above us and among us, trapping the sun's heat in our atmosphere. Then we wonder why rivers around the world are breaking their banks. We wonder why food supply disruptions have increased. We wonder why our coral reef systems are becoming bleached. We breathe in these elephants daily and then wonder why so many of us are sick. These dangerously high carbon dioxide levels are degenerating respiratory systems. And then we wonder why the world had a high mortality rate during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, this does not have to be our fate. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic caused global CO2 emissions to plummet 5% to 34.81 billion metric tons. This is because we were forced to be confined to our homes and work remotely.
Firstly, and very importantly, Madam Speaker, polling shows that one of the challenges faced by the population regarding working from home is that internet penetration is low on smaller islands. And where internet connectivity exists, the service is often unstable. Additionally, all 5 islands experience frequent disruptions in power supply. Given these circumstances, it is a recipe for economic disaster. For our labor force to be allowed to work remotely and on a shortened work week, wouldn't it be more practical and feasible for the government to address these problems? Firstly, before seeking to bring a law into effect where unreliable infrastructure exists. In my view, Madam Speaker, that is like putting the proverbial cart before the horse instead of the other way around.
A $1.5 million health center has been erected on Caye Caulker. Residents and visitors of the village will now have access to primary health care services on the island. 15 months ago, the Ministry of Health and Wellness broke ground for the construction of the health facility. And on Monday, an inauguration ceremony was held on the steps of the newly constructed building, which will also double as a hurricane shelter. The Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, provided the necessary funds for the development by way of a loan, while the Social Investment Fund, SIF, acted as the implementing agent. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
On August 21, 2021, the Ministry of Health and Wellness broke ground for the construction of the Caye Caulker Health Center. Former Minister of Health and Wellness, Michelle Shabat, spoke about the improved services that would be made available on the island through the health center.
Our government is committed to providing the best possible health care to all of our citizens. And here in Caye Caulker, there is an absolute need for a health center that the residents can come out and get the proper services they need: hypertension, diabetes, emergency services. We want to stop this, the necessity to have to transport patients to Belize City. So we're bringing the healthcare services to the community and to the residents of Caye Caulker.
Exactly 15 months later, his successor, Kevin Bernard, spoke at an inaugural ceremony for the newly constructed Caye Caulker Health Center.
In August of last year, the Prime Minister himself was out here, along with my colleague, the former Minister of Health, the Honorable Misha Shabat, to do the actual groundbreaking of this facility. And today it is my privilege, as the now Minister of Health and Wellness, to participate in the actual inauguration of this very much important facility.
With a population of 5,000 residents and a constant influx of tourists to the island, this facility will make a difference in the lives of many, says Chairlady Selene Villanueva Pot of the Caye Caulker Village Council.
In August 2021, we convened on this said location with hope and joy to break ground of what would be our new upgraded health center. Today, a few months later, we reconvened, but with gracious hearts and thankful words, as this project is a dream come true for Caye Caulker. Since 2017, we have been working as a community alongside SIF to gather all the necessary data to make this a reality. Today, we can say 6 years later, all our hard work and collaborative efforts have paid off. Caye Caulker can now say that in the very near future, we will be able to provide better healthcare service with adequate space, equipment, and staffing to not only Caye Caulker, but our visitors as well.
Already, the government of Belize has committed to expand the building to include living quarters for doctors and nurses.
But MC, I think I want to first reach out with you because I know that you still remember that you came here for the groundbreaking. I just fell short of asking which one of those groundbreakings, because as far as the Caye Caulker people are concerned, the groundbreaking here occurred more than one time. Every time that it's going to start and it didn't start. Well, in Plan Belize, this new government, when we break ground, it's because we're making true with our promise.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Every year, cattle and other farm animals face a number of potentially deadly diseases that can spread easily to other farms and cause significant losses to farmers. Last week, the Belize Agricultural Health Authority, BAHA, and the Ministries of Agriculture and Health and Wellness reminded livestock producers to vaccinate their animals against blackleg disease if they have not been vaccinated in the last 6 months. It is not contagious, but it was detected in one animal at a farm in Orange Walk last week. It can also infect animals, particularly young cattle and sheep, and is caused by bacteria in the soil after heavy rains. It is picked up even quicker by animals with open wounds. Today, BAHA's Plant and Animal Health Technical Director, Delilah Cab Ayala, shared with News 5 that BAHA conducts ante- and post-mortem inspection of animals to ensure that sick animals do not enter the food chain. She said, and she advised farmers to use only approved vaccines because other types may not yield the proper dosage and they could end up losing their entire herd. The disease works through the animal very quickly, and within 2 days, they die.
Maybe they are using expired vaccines, or maybe they are using material from partly used containers, or maybe the vaccines have not been kept in accordance with the cold storage that the manufacturer has prescribed. The farmer is saying, I don't have enough money, I have so many animals, I'm trying to cut costs, so I will ensure I vaccinate all, but they only get one vaccine. The animal will still not be fully protected. The calves should receive 2 doses of blackleg. So you apply the 2 vaccines 1 month apart. We also encourage that once the 2 vaccines have been issued, that the animal gets a booster 12 months later. Once it comes into the system, you will start observing if it's in an animal swelling, lameness, loss of appetite, rapid breathing, depression, high fever, and then that carcass will become very bloated.
When we return, an electricity roadmap for Belize.
It's that time of the year when all that stands between you and all of this is...
Give me 5, give me 5, give me 5!
That's all it takes. Get your coupons at Channel 5 and Coney Drive and Channel 5's website. Then, starting Monday, December 5th, keep those phones close and tune in to Channel 5 at 8 p.m. as we start our nightly giveaways until Friday, December 9th. Remember, when the phone rings, don't say
hello.
Say, give me 5.
My lights, yeah. Go to my lights, go to my lights. You gotta go to my lights, yeah. I wanna shine, 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 shine. I hit my lights cause that's my plan, 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 plan. My lights have your favorite brand, 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 brand. Just come with nothing in your hands, 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 hands. My lights, and it goes on and on and on. It goes on and on and on, yeah. I wanna celebrate with my lights, sing yeah, yo, baby let's go. My lights, I wanna celebrate with my lights, sing yeah, yo, baby let's go. We going to the stars, but we gon' do right. We gon' light a life, only with my light. We going to
Social Security, transforming service delivery. My Social Security is your secure online account to manage all your Social Security information. My Social Security launched in March 2021 with registration service to apply online for new or replacement Social Security cards. Upgrades to My Social Security continues with a new look, enhanced customer experience, and its newest feature, Sickness Benefit Online application. With My Social Security, you can create your account, log in, and take control of your Social Security information. This includes applying for a new or replacement Social Security card for yourself, child, or dependent. Make appointments online and submit your complete sickness benefit claim package. Our customer care team is here to provide you, our valued customers, with real-time support. Connect with one of our customer care agents through direct messages on WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or live chat, or follow our YouTube channel for more information, tutorials, and guides. A complete 360 view of your Social Security information is coming soon, which includes a new employer portal for employers, businesses, and self-employed persons, contributions history and statements, all SSB benefits, medical portal for registered doctors, and fingerprint enrollment all in one place. Social Security at your fingertips. The significant enhancement of service delivery to you is here. My Social Security.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Today, the Public Utilities Commission of Belize held a media mixer at the Belize Biltmore Plaza Hotel on the methodology of setting electricity rates. For many, the PUC is dormant, and you only hear of its function when the utility companies apply for a change in prices, and the Commission then determines whether your water or electricity rates are going up or down. So today's mixer was for the media to realize just how crowded the PSU's agenda is. The regulator is autonomous and does not report to any ministry and makes annual reports to the National Assembly. Now, whatever the PUC does, including the decision made, is guided by the Electricity Act, the Water Industry Act, and the Telecommunications Act. In 1999, the Public Utilities Act was created, giving the regulator the power to set tariffs, the quality of standards, and issue licenses. This closed in a presentation today was how much time per year, on average, you should be without electricity.
In an average, every customer of the country gets about 13 outages a year. And if you accumulate them, it's about 17 hours a year if you add them up, no? I mean, for example, if you're on the hospital feeder, you probably only get 2 or 3 outages a year because they protect that feeder to death, no? At an average, this what we call the duration and the frequency are 13 and 17, and if we want to move that to be like 10 and 12, you know the investment that BL would have to do to get there, do double circuits, put more generation, put whatever, is very expensive. That might be too hard on the rate. So as a result, we have to be carefully trying to balance. We're asking for a quality, but if we ask for too much quality, it might be unaffordable. Our job is not just to accept For example, we just not accept what we get from electricity or what we get from water. We are supposed to design and develop the product we want. We want an electricity that is 24 hours of service. We want to make sure that the people do not get more than 20 hours of blackout a year. We want the frequencies and the voltages to be stable. So we define the product. And then the utility has to not only comply, but put in the infrastructure in place to be able to develop that product in that way. So whenever you see the rate, it is because we have checked all their components and all their investments, all their plans, that we are sure that it's going to be delivered in the same way we want.
Ernesto Gomez is the Director of Tariff, Compliance and Standards of the Public Utilities Commission. During the presentation, he told the media that in November of 2021, Cabinet approved an electricity roadmap for the country, and it's all about going green, renewable energy. The PUC, as a stakeholder, participated in the dialogue. So what does that mean, and how can the public be engaged in development proposals in terms of solar energy?
We are suppressing all types of developments that have to do with fossil fuel, because on COP26, the government signed to the declaration whereby there will have to be a 75% renewable in the consumption of electricity by 2030. And then obviously the bigger one is by 2050 they have to be carbon neutral. Zero emissions. So that one is tough to get, especially when you're talking about not only electricity, but energy in general, which is all the vehicles and everything that is used. But the 2031, well, we're almost there, as we are now. So, but if we keep adding generators with fossil fuel, we're going to spoil it, really. We have to open up the law to be able to bring in more players. Okay. And for the rooftop solar, we have like an automatic class system, whereby once you meet certain criteria, you're in. Okay. To that then, we are just about to release the concept paper to the public on the different forms of rooftop solars and distributed generation. You know, the different categories, the small ones, the medium ones, the large ones, and how they would work.
The PUC looks at where the country wants to be in terms of improving the lives of the citizenry and the utility services being offered to achieve that. In terms of water, there are the Sustainable Development Goals by the United Nations that speak to water for everyone by 2030. The WHO standard is the policy helping to guide the regulator in its decisions. But the country has been facing serious issues as it relates to wastewater. Ernesto Gomez says that many departments are trying to develop wastewater policies, and most important is one by the Department of Environment.
The wastewater policy that the DOE actually has it in their law. So much, you know, the effluents, how the contamination, what you're supposed to put back into the water. So we follow those policies. The full tariff review period for electricity is 4 years, for water it's 5 years. So they have to supply us a plan into the future. And we would see if that plan, first of all, keep servicing the present customers and can take on future customers, and the system can deliver the service, the quality of service. So that is the purpose of the plan. Now the plan is being costed, say how much it will cost them to execute that plan, and that is what we use.
Of note is that recently at COP27, the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Management was part of a side event hosted by the 5 Cs, where a wastewater management project funded by the Global Climate Fund in Barbados could possibly be replicated in certain areas of Belize. The Belize Bureau of Standards held a soft launch today for the Belize Energy Efficiency Labeling Scheme, BEALS. As a CARICOM member state, Belize was selected to participate in a pilot energy efficiency labeling scheme for refrigerators, air conditions, and lighting. In fulfilling this commitment, the Belize Bureau has embarked on the implementation of its EELS pilot scheme with an initial focus on refrigerators and freezers. A ceremony was held in Belize City this morning.
The Bureau of Standards is the national standards body responsible for promoting efficiency and competitive production in goods and services, with quality infrastructure serving as the foundation in achieving this objective. The pillars of standardization, metrology, conformity assessment, and accreditation combined serve to ensure that goods and services, whether produced domestically or imported, meet established regulatory requirements, such as those relating to health and safety of consumers and the environment. The BBS is essentially responsible to protect, secure, and safeguard the welfare of the country and consumers, a function carried out legally through the Standards and Metrology Acts. Our vision, as it was 30 years ago, as it is now, is to serve as Belize's pillar institution in quality infrastructure systems for economic growth and development.
Just ahead, Christmas decor. Great deals available.
It's that time of the year when all that stands between you and all of this is...
Give me 5, give me 5, give me 5!
That's all it takes. Get your coupons at Channel 5 and Coney Drive and Channel 5's website. Then, starting Monday, December 5th, keep those phones close and tune into Channel 5 at 8 p.m. as we start our nightly giveaways until Friday, December 9th. Remember, when the phone rings, don't say
hello.
Say, give me 5.
How are we to measure the success of our lives? For many, an ordinary life should have the following: a job, a house, enough money to buy a new car. But what if we threw out the ordinary? What could escaping ordinary at our jobs do? How about for our marriages? What if I told you we could all be escaping ordinary? Join us as we begin our new series.
I will be there. Thank you so much.
Why are you so excited?
Let me tell you a secret. I just got off the phone with Santa.
Hi, Santa. For Christmas, I want a pea shooter, a football. iPhone and a makeup for Christmas.
Oh, come on. 1 second.
We just learned that Santa's phone number has just been revealed. The number is 227-7132.
I'm sorry, Dad. I shared Santa's phone number.
We live in a world where undernutrition and obesity can exist side by side in the same country, home, or even person. Foods high in sugars, salt, and/or unhealthy fats are leading to unhealthy diets and are one reason why children may not be growing healthily, while causing other people to develop overweight or obesity. The consumption of unhealthy diets is heavily influenced by marketing. Easy access is fueling this new nutrition reality, but thankfully, change towards a healthier future is possible. By having a sustainable healthy diet made up of a variety of foods that are safe for consumption we can promote health and have better abilities to fight illness. How do we do this? Good nutrition for women during pregnancy and for children in their first 1,000 days of life, including breastfeeding, sets them up for healthy adulthood and future generations. We should eat more fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, pulses, nuts and seeds, and less sugary drinks and foods high in sugars, salt and unhealthy fats. The less of these foods we buy, the more the food industry will be encouraged to produce foods that contribute to healthy diets. We can also call on our leaders to make the right decisions so that every person, everywhere, can afford and access good nutrition. When people like you and me, industries and governments work together to make positive changes, we can create a healthier world.
Mr. Ronald Gordon, our Chief Met Officer, confirmed that Lisa made landfall at 3:20 p.m. yesterday, 3rd November, 10 miles south of Belize City.
The impact of Hurricane Lisa on Belize City has been devastating. Families, lives have been disrupted. People, livelihoods, business livelihoods obviously has been severely impacted. The goal really is to transform these hurricane weather-beaten streets and neighborhoods into livable, traversable spaces again. Getting back to some measure of normalcy. It's a wide cross-section of partners encompassing both public, private sector, of course being led by the government of Belize, the Ministry of Infrastructure. We have NEMO with us, we have CEMO, we have the Belize City Council, the Orange Walk Town Council, the BDF, the Coast Guard, and a wide scope of other partners. Obviously, their efforts here today is being met with great enthusiasm and optimism by the people of Belize City. For us at CIDCO, it means more muscle on the ground to achieve the task. We face one of the greatest natural disasters ever brought upon the city in my lifetime, in their lifetime. We face it together. Now it's even more important that we face the recovery process, the rebuilding process together. We must exercise patience on all accord.
Standing over this. Messi.
Great entertainment stays with you, and we bring you great entertainment. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, Other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart.
It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
While the November 19 celebrations were underway, stores across Belize City and elsewhere had its version of Black Friday sales this past Saturday, slashing prices on almost all products, including household items, Christmas decorations, and other items for the upcoming festive season. News 5's Dwayne Moody checked in with some of your favorite shopping spots and found out that great deals are available and will continue right up to Christmas Eve.
From Punta and the celebration of our Garifuna people here in Belize to Christmas, almost everywhere you're going, you're already hearing Christmas songs. There are trees and lights already getting ready. Let's go.
We have been feeling this Christmas from since September, and we're ready for all our customers to come and do their Christmas shopping with us.
Christmas is here actually. We just had our major sale this 19th of November. We had a lot of people, not to mention how much the customers we get there are very vibrant with picking and choosing different colors this year.
They say Crawford like free thing. But while the offerings are not for free, prices have been slashed. There is something for everyone, from household items to indoor and outdoor Christmas decor. Head on over to places such as Mirab, Golden Bay, and Hophius.
This year people already have their color scheme they're looking for, so every year we try to bring these colors, because we prefer to bring the colors because, everybody want to do their red, their green, their blue. So basically now we have these different stuff. Like this year we bring like the tree color black. We also bring pre-lit trees, much more prettier one, and also fluffy trees, the fluffy white ones. We get these people, and then we have friendly staff, and then we have very easier way how to shop now, because you could shop online and you could shop on WhatsApp. You could deposit your money and we just ship your items. You don't even have to come out from your home.
We have from glass Christmas balls to lights, Christmas trees, a wide variety of items at the Christmas section as well.
People are already coming in to buy now.
Yes, they are, and they're so excited. We also have brought this Advent chocolate that it's a countdown for the kids to be excited while they're counting down the Christmas days and each calendar, is a calendar that they have chocolate in them. So it's a surprise chocolate calendar for these kids.
Christmas decorations and Christmas trees. And we have beautiful curtains, sheets.
I understand that a lot of people, they go color this year. Is that what you guys are seeing, colors?
Color themes, yeah, like gold, red, white, silver. We have a new selection in paints, Corona, BH paint, and Marleys. We got in some new Marleys. So it's our one-stop store, Hophius.
And if you are one of those persons looking for Christmas gifts for the children and loved ones, there's no shortage of offerings. In fact, Cellular World has a countrywide Black Friday sale on November 25th and 26th.
It has been a great year for us, and we want to share the greatness with the Belizean public, right? So upon seeing the Black Friday prices, which I have been privileged to view, it was like, okay, this is really where we're going right now, because the prices, I can say they are really good on across the board in all the stores, right? So that's this weekend, Friday and Saturday, the 25th and 26th of November. We have some great prices on all our products, on phones, tablets, laptops, televisions, desktop computers as well, computer accessories. So it's just on everything, right? So if you're looking to shop early for Christmas, Cellular World is definitely a place to be on your list.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.